morning. You know what? That was a little bit off key. I should have started a little bit lower, more like good morning, good morning. That's better. That's for sure. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Red Gloves Chat number 5 with our special guest today, Christine Vargas Dela Cruz. And red gloves because red gloves, usually people think about red gloves that are for duking things out in the ring, but we like to take things with a softer approach. So we have our red gloves. And Christine actually surprised me by having her own pair. So woohoo! Awesome. Yay. So let's start with a little bit of introductions here. So for those of you that don't know who I am, my name is Marianne Roos. I am a speaker, author, and serial entrepreneur. Most people know me as the client attraction and retention specialist, as I help businesses develop better relationships using multiple tools. And if they don't have the time to implement or learn how to use those tools, we have solutions available for that as well. And now, on to today's guest. So let me get my sheet with a little bit of info that I have about Christine. So Christine,
Yes,
she was born and raised in the island of Guam. And Christine also lived on and off Hawaii and grew up California, Seattle, and the Philippines. So the Philippines is huge. There's so many different islands. We should talk about that another time because we actually have family over there.
Yes.
So Christine also worked in the airline industry. She did that for over 20 years and she's retired from United Airlines. She also worked for Hawaiian Airlines, Island Air, and the call center environment. So I don't know what that is, so maybe you can answer that in a moment. Let's see. Ooh, check this out. Christine opened her very own restaurant in Guam, and it's called Napu Restaurant, Napu. Hopefully I pronounced it right. And it's still around, so you can check it out. It's on Facebook and Instagram, and it is one of her proud moments. And she has many proud moments and many more to come. She is a fellow graduate from the Queen Bee program, so we have some wonderful things in common. We have had some wonderful chats, and she does pride herself in sharing and spreading the word about how important it is to have financial plan for both the present and the future. And so that comes actually from some story of as a child. She grew up in a household where she was taught you go to school, you become a lawyer or a doctor or an engineer so that in the future, then you're financially secure. But all the pressure, she ended up not knowing what she wanted to do as an adult and became pretty lost and asking herself, what am I going to do when I grow up? Sometimes, you know what, as adults, we still ask ourselves that. Now, the funny thing is, though, that Christine did not like college, but she loved learning and learning in unconventional ways. And she always knew that she wanted to help people and didn't know exactly what her passion was, except that it was helping people. And she knew that she loved giving, helping people, love sharing, love saving. And with that, though, at one point, she became so broke, which was a total surprise from the standpoint that she didn't know how she got there because she was good with money, saving, and also investing until she realized that she needed help. And she just didn't know who to ask or what to do. And who would have ever thought that from that point on, that was a pivotal point in her life that got her to where she's at today, where she's teaching people about saving for emergencies, investing for the future, getting their properties protected. So a wide range of ways to plan from a financial standpoint. And basically sharing what she knows so that people know also that they're not alone and that there are options out there to help out. And she does that with a company called Primerica. And with that, let's go right into it because wow, you've been around the world, living in different areas, but then also you worked in the travel industry. And so you were an employee, and
Yeah.
you've also had your own business with the restaurant, and now you are an entrepreneur teaching people about financial strategies and financial planning and to have that financial security.
Yes.
So, what made you or what drew you to being an entrepreneur versus being an employee? Because some people do what you do, but as an employee. So, what made you want to be your own boss?
That's a good question, Marianne. But first of all, I want to say thank you so much for inviting me here. It's a pleasure. I'm honored to be here, and I wanted to just show you again. I wanted to surprise you, but you saw my red glove earlier in honor of you. So the question is, what made me want to? You know, being in the working industry for a long time, I knew I wanted to make a difference. I wanted to make decisions based on the benefits of, the employees, myself, and not just do what's told, for me to do, right? What's told, do this and do that. And I always had so many ideas of how to make things better, but I didn't have the authority to do that, right?
Mhm.
You always think, man, if you own your own business, you have that creativity to do whatever you want to, be more creative and help other people the way you want to. And even now, um, I'm always looking for something, right? Which is great, just helping people and whatsoever. But yeah, basically, that's what it is, the freedom and the creativity to do so.
Yeah.
I mean, look at yourself. I mean, you got out of the working industry just 2021 and you're doing awesome just based on your ideas and creativity too, right? That freedom to do so.
Thank you. Yes, it is a freedom. And with that freedom, sometimes there are hurdles
Oh,
that we
yeah.
come across. Is there a hurdle that might have come to mind about being your own boss, being an entrepreneur that you have overcome that maybe you weren't expecting, or that you, or maybe it's something that you knew could happen, and how did you go about overcoming it, or plunging right through it, or just blowing it out of water kind of thing?
Oh gosh. People think there's a lot of people who want to get out of the W-2 industry, right? And say, "Oh, I want to just open my own business and have that freedom to do so." But people don't realize it's hard work. It's a lot of hard work, discipline, commitment to it. So you have to have that burning desire to make sure to be committed, right? For myself, it's about being around the right people, um, plugging into the people that's going to help you grow and find the connections to grow your business as well. But it's in yourself. For me, it's basic development of doing a lot of research. Again, being connected to the right people. So let's just say if you're in the restaurant industry, where I was in the restaurant industry, right? You can't just go in there and just decide, to create your own recipes or all that stuff. You need to have the right people that's going to build you up and connect with you and show you how it's going to be done. And even right now with financial services, it's the same thing, right? You have to develop yourself and make sure that you're educating yourself every day. It's not easy, but at the same time, it's more of the everyday, can I do it today? Oh, I feel lazy today. I don't want to call anyone today. So you have to have that commitment and that desire. Not like with a W-2, right? If you go every day, you have to time in and time out. If you don't go in, you have to call in sick. You have to answer to people. But when you have your own business, there you have to answer to yourself. You have to answer to your clients, your customers, your dreams. Is you don't want
Mm.
to basically you want to develop your dreams, right? I hope
Yeah,
that answers your question.
of
I mean,
course, of
I have
course.
so much ideas. I always think of so many things, and I try to uh, put it into one small, box, which it should be on different boxes, right? Just with all the ideas and everything else.
Ooh, do you mind sharing some of those ideas, or is it projects that are going to be coming in the future to where we can't know about it yet?
Projects in the future that we can't know about it. I'm still trying to, uh, find that revelation of things.
Well, it will come to you. It will come to you to where that little seed is planted,
Exactly.
and like you said, you're doing personal development and you're surrounding yourself with the right people, and that's where then the seeds gets the watering and the nutrients to grow into the plant that is started there. So with the personal development and surrounding yourself with the right people, what are the things that you personally like to do for personal development?
Well, I like to listen to audibles. I love watching. I don't know if you heard of Ian Pruckner. He is my morning go-to on Facebook. He does a lot of development, and also like Dr. O, of course. He's awesome too. He's a
Oh, Dr. Oban?
Yes,
Oh,
Dr.
okay.
Obam. Yes, he's awesome. I listen to them in the mornings. They help me, develop my mindset. But, joining a program is really helpful. Finding a mentor like Claire, Coach Claire, she's awesome. She's actually helped me um, pretty much show my blocks, or it kind of opened me to my blocks that I didn't even realize I had, which is great, right? So I also wanted to talk about connecting with different business owners. I've been a visitor of BNI, and hopefully one day I will be in BNI as well. I love their concept, at BNI, the giver's gain.
Mm,
um, I know a lot of people who have businesses, whether it's with lotions or just cards or whatsoever, right? But they tend to. I used to be that way. I tend to just keep to my group and see how I can grow within my group. And I didn't realize till last year, and it was my trainer, Christian Garcia, who opened my eyes to so many things where it's like, let's go to the BNI and realize that you need to connect with other businesses, because when you connect with other businesses and you share each other's businesses and refer each other, your business flourishes. And that's the greatest thing that I've learned. And I'm learning, I'm still learning. It's so awesome.
yeah, yeah, true. I am in BNI. I'm in the Kona Crew chapter,
Mm,
and with BNI, the motto that we have is givers gain.
yes,
And that is the thing to where we give referrals to others and we help connect others because we want to help.
yes,
And we want to see them flourish. We want to see their business grow and succeed. And the side effect of that is that in return, our business succeeds as well, to where it's kind of like the ripple effect. When you throw a stone in water,
yeah,
for example, it creates those ripples. But then after that, the ripples do come back as well.
yes,
So
exactly.
yeah. Yeah, well, I'm glad that Christian introduced you to BNI and had you visit a chapter.
Oh God,
And
I've
yeah.
actually had a few people, even just yesterday, have people call me up and ask me if I could sub for them. So it's like, wow, this is awesome. We're in different businesses, but we all help each other grow and share each other's knowledge. It's awesome. It's like something I wish I knew 5, 7 years ago. I believe you've been in BNI for over 10 years now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. So definitely networking, personal development, surrounding yourself with the right people is key. And there you mentioned that Christian is one of your mentors. So you're surrounding yourself with somebody that you can talk to, you can bounce off ideas, you can ask questions. And you mentioned biz coach Claire, who's both of our mentors.
Yes.
So we're in good circles. We're in good circles for sure. And with the personal development and the mentors, something that we had talked about before we went live are some books that we like to read. And you mentioned a couple of them. Would you mind sharing again the books that you were talking about? And
Before I share you the books that I've been talking about that I go back on, I wanted to share with you a book that I made myself when I was 8 years old. Okay, this is my very first book that I made for myself at 8 years old, and my daughter actually found it. So it says here, look at, and Easter is coming. So I just wanted to
Yay!
share it with you.
I love
So I
it.
did. So I did create a book once in my life. So this is about the author right here, and there's me when I was 8 years old, living in
Oh,
California. But yes, I just wanted to share that with you. So about my daughter, my youngest is 17 years old. About 20 years ago, I stumbled on this book, and it's called "Who Moved My Cheese." It's by Spencer Johnson. I'm not sure if I believe a lot. There you go. You have it. It's an awesome book, actually. I believe a lot of business people have read that. I feel like if you're stuck, if you're trying to look for something and you don't know what, read the book. They also created that for children and teenagers, a teenage version of that. It's about what would you do if you weren't afraid?
mm,
That's basically what the book is, and it talks about two little mices and two little mice and two small human beings and the choices they make, and just basically the different choices and what if, which one are you? And I believe a lot of corporations instilled this book to their employees when they have team buildings as well. But
mm.
yeah, so like I said, I was introduced to that about 20 years ago. Once in a while, every few years, when I feel like I'm stuck, when I feel like there's something going on in my life that I don't know what to do, I go back to that book, which is awesome. They have it in Audibles as well. So
Oh, cool.
yeah. Well, in
Cool.
20 years ago, there wasn't any Audibles, right? But now everything's in Audible.
Yeah. Yeah. No, 20 years ago, we might have had cassette tapes or LPs.
There you go. Exactly. But I just had the book, which is great.
Yeah, yeah. And you also mentioned a couple other books, and one of them is the one that was mentioned by Marilyn from Red Glove Chat number two.
Oh, which one? The Think and Grow Rich?
The one from by Grant Cardone.
Oh, Grant Cardone, the 10X. Actually, I have not read that book yet. I took his courses. So his program it's awesome. It builds confidence. If you're looking to be in the sales industry, it's an awesome program to go to. But I am in the verge of getting to sit down and read that book. Right now, I'm still in the middle of Think and Grow Rich. I've gone back and forth with that book by Napoleon Hill. I love
Mhm.
it because it has so much stories of just trying to just chasing after your dreams, right? And in order for you to accomplish or be successful, you don't have to really be smart. Or they say, oh, it's mainly, I'm not, a lot of people, and I used to be this way, I'm not smart enough, I'm not good enough, I can't do this. But when you read a book like Napoleon Hill's own, it's about your thoughts and your desires. If you can think it, if you desire it and you want it so badly, it's going to happen. You'll find the ways, and it doesn't have to be, about you being smart, right? And I've come across a lot of people who are so successful now. And they don't, English isn't their first language, and they didn't go to college, but because they wanted certain things so badly, they're where they're at now, right? Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. It makes me think of a quote by Wayne Dyer, to where he says, "Believe it and you will see it."
Yes. Yes, I agree. I've been learning a lot of those, and it's shifting your mindset. And you've taught me that, right? You taught me before we went on this live event. I was telling you, oh my gosh, I'm so nervous. And what did you say to me? Do you
About the energy,
Yeah.
about the energy, that nervous energy is the same as the excited energy. So
So
you have
now
a
I'm
choice.
like, exactly. Now I'm like, I'm excited for every time I'm nervous about something. I'm excited. But yes.
Love it. Love it. So, yes, you're reading some wonderful books. And from the ones that you're saying that you're reading, with Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill, there is the title of the book, of a different book that comes to mind that you might be interested in reading afterwards. You want to finish one book before you keep on adding more, right? And it's called License to Dream.
License to Dream.
Yeah, yeah. So that's another wonderful book.
Awesome.
And yeah, so to add to the queue
Yes.
of books to read.
I love it when people recommend books to me.
Yeah, and that's actually why that's one of the questions that I seem to bring up every episode, because everybody has a different book, or to where a book that somebody else has talked about, then they've read it, and then they can add a little bit more of their own spice to their explanation of aha that they get from it. So there's always, good stuff from each sharing, each guest. So as an entrepreneur, and I know that right now you actually have your feet in both worlds. You have both the W2 and the entrepreneur world. And being an entrepreneur has made an impact on your life.
Yes, it.
And what would you say is a positive impact that it has created for you?
Well, for me, it's meeting a lot of people that used to where I used to be at, right? And just sharing my experience and seeing what they would like, or if they would, want to just talk stories. Being an entrepreneur, sorry, I'm excited again. It's just it's exciting. It's basically just being on my time and sharing my knowledge of my what I'm going through, what I'm experiencing, and how I can help people. Um, Again, it's right now. So I'm with Primerica Financial Services, and what we do is we help people to save money, be properly protected, and invest in the future. So me sitting down with people and sharing that with them is exciting. And when I hear people or sit down with people and they're like, wow, I never knew about these things. For me, when I talk to people, I explain planning in the concept of the baseball diamond, right? In order for you to succeed to get to home, you have to go through first base, second base, third base, and then get to home base and succeed. So, of course, we talk about being properly protected, and people never realize that. What happens if, you know, un, God forbid something happens to you,
Mm.
and you take care of your family, and you're young, whether you're young or my age, being almost 50 years old, you want to,
We're young.
yes, we are young. Exactly. We have people who are dependent on us, right? Whether it's our family or our children, our parents, I mean, or our children. We want to make sure that we are properly protected for them. Some of the things that we have a problem with, the problem in life is either we live too short, we die too soon, live too short,
Mm,
die too soon, or we live too long and we don't plan, right? So, yeah, so me being an entrepreneur and doing this business helps me spread the word and share with people, what are your needs, and what do you want, and how can you what can you afford to go and have this plan for yourself. Have that emergency fund, for you in case maybe 5 years from now you want to go on a vacation. I know some people that tell me, man, Christine, I want to go and visit my family in America Samoa. I haven't seen them in 5 years. So
mm,
those are the things that we can help them with, right? But yeah, I hope that answers your question. I get so excited that there's so much that can come out of my mouth in helping people. I just, I have to tell you, when 10 years ago, if you knew me, I was living on Guam. I felt like I had everything. I had a great job. I owned a restaurant. Just to correct you, I actually sold the restaurant 6 years ago when I moved here. But, the Facebook and Instagram is still up and active. During that time, I thought, man, I have everything. I have a great job. I travel all the time. I have a home, I have savings, but people don't have a plan. Like, I didn't think that I was going to move to Hawaii, at that time and start all over. I didn't
mm,
think, within the 6 years that I actually lost my job 4 times during the time I was living here in Hawaii. And I didn't have a plan, right?
yeah.
I used up my emergency fund. I tapped into my 401k. I didn't have anyone to tell me what to do, or give me advice. I mean, I did, but people just, it's not their problem. So it wasn't important to them, right? And because I was in that situation, I'm here now saying, you know what? I want to help people and give them, kind of guide them to their goals and give them the options. And thank goodness I found people like Christian who helped me go through that. And that's
Mm.
where I'm at now, right?
Yeah, yeah, that's wonderful. I love how you help people. And I did sit with you for one of your presentations, and you do a wonderful job of going through that diamond and explaining the process. And you make it simple to where when we have that conversation, you're not you weren't talking to me like I don't know anything, you're stupid, or
Oh,
anything like that, to where you spoke in plain English to explain different things that are not necessarily all common sense. So I really appreciate the time that you took to sit down with me and to talk about, how you help people.
oh, thank
And
you.
if anyone has any questions about what Christine does, I did put the link right on the screen so you can connect with her. And before we wrap up, I was thinking of asking you one more question. Ooh,
Sure. I'm getting
so
excited.
I'm so excited and I just can't hide it. So there are probably some people out there that are thinking about starting their own business, becoming an entrepreneur. What would be a tip of advice that you would share with somebody who's just about to get started? What would be something you would recommend for them to do?
I think they should get educated, meaning find your resources, talk to people about, just the ins and outs of being in a business, right? Be connected. And I did mention that earlier. When I say get educated, that means, again, if it depends on what business you are at, right? Go on the website, look at other businesses, see how it is, even with your taxes. How would you pay that as a, as an entrepreneur? Vendors, talk to all the vendors, connect with them, go on the website again. I mean, there's so much resources out there. Just be committed, be with around like-minded people that's going to help lift you up. That's my advice to a lot of people.
Wow. Bomb. Poof. Mic drop. Yes. Yes, I love it. So thank you so much for sharing your insight. Thank you for sharing the different ahas that you
Oh,
have
thank you.
experienced and some of your life journey. It has been a pleasure having you
No,
on
it's a pleasure
for
being here too. Oh my gosh. And just, last thing is, I just wanted to just tell people, if they ever need any free financial planning, please go ahead and call me, connect with me through Marianne or the website in the bottom, or on my Facebook as well.
fantastic. Thank you so much, Christine. And for everyone out there, aloha, and be sure to comment or share. If you're catching the replay, mark replay, or if you're watching it on YouTube, share it with your friends as well, because you never know who will be touched by a golden nugget that was shared today.
Yes.
So thank you, everyone. Aloha.